Yep. Silver Coast.
Yes, but people don't know what the Silver Coast is.
Okay, so go backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel.
Hey, everyone.
We are here with another video. We have gotten a few questions around where we decided to live.
Yep.
And how did we find a school? So in this video, we're going to address both of those. Let's start off with, where did we decide to live in Portugal?
Did our scouting trip. We landed in Lisbon. Lisbon is just like any other big city in the US. It has so many different neighborhoods, and each neighborhood had different vibes. And so it was just really cool to be able to tour the different neighborhoods and also look at the apartments there. As a whole, yes, as a big city, Lisbon is very crowded because it is a big city vibe, but it also is very quaint at times when it's very chill on like Sundays, for example. And then just like the melting pot of people from all over the world lives in Lisbon. So it is very a transient city. But I think the biggest thing for us is that as we were touring different parts of Portugal, we noticed that there were some other places within Portugal that was not as crowded as Lisbon and also slightly cheaper. Think of any big city in the US. If you live in Houston, it's very expensive and things can get pricier, but you live maybe an hour away. These are much cheaper, a little bit more slowed down. And when we were doing those tours in those cities outside of Lisbon, we were definitely more interested in having more of a slow down feel, and affordable cost was definitely a plus for us.
And I think that that's one of the main reasons why we suggest that people do scouting trips, because videos, it doesn't always do it justice. Like when you show up to a different city, you feel the vibe. And I feel like that is what kind of spoke to us when we went to Lisbon. Beautiful place, but it didn't feel like where we wanted to raise our family. Another place that we went and visited was Sintra. Okay, Greg is making that face because, like I just said, on paper and looking through videos, Sintra looks gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
Sintra is gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
But when we arrived in Sintra to do a tour, and we actually stayed in an Airbnb there for a couple of days, it didn't feel like us. Sintra is old world charm, traditional. It has a beautiful palace there. Gorgeous to go and look and visit. For us, it just did not feel like home. And when we got there, I was immediately like, no, this isn't it.
Yeah, I would say this though. Granted, our opinions are based on us being there for
our experience.
Our experience and being there for a few days in the different locations. Sintra was amazing. It has the beautiful castles and palaces. But then also, I think our Airbnb was probably what deterred us.
It wasn't the best.
It had a lot of ants. And then there was a different part where we landed in our Airbnb. We noticed that there was a different part of Sintra. We didn't get a chance to tour that area. So just based on our visit, we made a decision like, yeah, maybe Sintra's not it. We wanted to kind of tour some different areas.
After that, we went and visited Cascais.
Yeah, Cascais is beautiful. I mean, all the locations are beautiful, but Cascais is like has a marina. It's very bougie, beachy. Just, I mean, it's amazing. Last 2 days we stayed at a hotel, kind of relaxed, but we did relax. Cascais is an amazing place. I would love to move again. Cascais could be an option. That's something that I'm putting in my back pocket because I would love to kind of live there a little bit longer and kind of see if I really like it. I think that was a beautiful place to live.
It's more touristy in Cascais, I will say.
That's a good point.
And affordability compared to Lisbon.
I think it was the same.
Lisbon and Cascais are about the same.
Yeah.
The cost of living really wasn't much of a difference. No, I don't think it was where we wanted to live. It didn't feel like home. It did in that moment. And we couldn't really find an apartment that's available at that time. We toured one or two. Yeah, we toured a couple.
But there was neither one of those kind of spoke to us. It was in one of the videos where we show apartment hunting. But yeah, it just wasn't it. So I think that, if we were to look at it again, maybe different apartments or houses that come available down the road, maybe we'd give a tour of it and possibly move there. But at that time, it wasn't. It seemed like it was the right choice for us.
Algarve is, again, also very touristy. It's down south.
Yep.
Beachy, gorgeous, big tourism during the summer, but we also heard that during like the off season, it's pretty much dead. Not really much activity there. For us, hearing about that, it didn't really appeal to us. We didn't go visit.
Nope.
All of that was through conversations with our tour guide and from YouTube videos and research that we did.
Yeah, we definitely want to see it one day. We just decided to have some, eliminate some options. And one of them was the Algarve area. We still want to go. We still want to have our own perspective. I think one of the options was that we wanted to be near the airport and we wanted to be near Lisbon airport. I think that also played a part with choosing like locations that were near Lisbon. Yeah, so Porto, we didn't go there either. Like Deanna said, based on conversations, research, YouTube videos, we love the vibe there and I wanted to visit. I think I was trying to visit there, but then at the last minute, we kind of crossed it off our list. But what we know about Porto, could be wrong because we haven't been, but we heard that it was much colder throughout the year, but definitely during the winter time. It's possibly they have snow during the winter time. What I've been told is it's more of like maybe like a Seattle, Washington feel, like one of those northern cities in the US. Is kind of that kind of feel where you don't get that much sun. It's a little bit cooler.
More rainy. More cloudy.
Yeah, that's what we heard. So people from Porto don't come at us. I'm sorry, we haven't been yet, but we'll be there soon to visit and to stay for a while. But yeah, that's something that we learned about Porto, and so we kind of crossed that off the list. Deanna said she wanted more sun, a little bit more higher temperatures, and so we kind of crossed that off our list.
Yes. Porto is also known for port wine, so we'll be going up there for our wine tours regardless. Just to live there, it just didn't feel like us. Whenever you're traveling and you arrive somewhere, you know that feeling of home, you arrive there. And each one of these places, we didn't feel that until we got to the Silver Coast. The Silver Coast of Portugal, absolutely gorgeous. I mean, all of Portugal is gorgeous, but when we arrived on the Silver Coast, it felt like us. It felt warm and welcoming. It had a little bit of the hustle and bustle, but more like suburban hustle bustle. Like,
yeah, she's suburban.
I am, but it felt more like us. Small town. It had activities. It had things to do. It had restaurants. It had festivals that take place. So it does have an active like social life, and also it's a little bit on the calmer side where you can raise a family and have a little bit more space between you and your neighbors. And I feel like that was something that really spoke to us. We're also about 15 minutes from the beach. That is something that Greg mentioned as well. And was like, if we're moving, like I've never lived super close to the beach.
No.
That's why we were like, okay, well, if we're gonna be 15 minutes away from it on the Silver Coast, I mean, we had the opportunity to live like on the beach. That really wasn't us. The wind and the coolness, we didn't need that.
What I mentioned before about being close to the city but not too far, so we're about an hour away from Lisbon, 3 hours away from Porto, but we're out away from Lisbon. So we've been to Lisbon multiple times since we've been here, and it's not a bad drive. I want to mention that Silver Coast is not a city, area within Portugal, and there's multiple cities and towns within that area that they call the Silver Coast. And so you have places like Nazaré, Peniche, Okoties, Caldas de Reina, Lorena. Come on now. They watch it. They will know your Portuguese. Come on.
Oh no. Torres Vedras.
There we go.
Oh goodness. Okay, I don't know.
That's it. That's all we got.
I feel like you said most of them.
That's all we got for now. Okay, we'll come
and those
back.
are the ones that we've been visiting and like frequently, like up and down.
Yeah. So there's multiple cities within the Silver Coast. Each one has a different vibe, but overall has like a central vibe of just like calmness, relaxation. Still can be able to have festivals, and I know it's a beautiful place to land. And I think that's another thing that I want to mention is that one of the best advice that we was given was that just find a good landing spot. Just find a good landing spot that you want to be in. Doesn't mean you have to be in that city or in that town forever, but just find a good landing spot. Get to know Portugal, get to know the culture, the neighborhoods, the food, all those things. Like just find a good landing spot and then once you get here, then be able to kind of tour and find and look at other neighborhoods and cities. And so, I mean, I think we found a great landing spot. I don't know if I want to
Yeah.
go anywhere else, but Cascais. I think that it's a good reminder and a good recommendation. So for us, we're here in the Silver Coast, but then we're open to like, hey, let's go to Porto for a week and see if that's a possibility. And if we do like it, be able to move and try out Porto for a year or two. So the Silver Coast is just amazing vibes. Like I said, very close to the beach. It has everything you need. And if you really want to get that city vibe and or friends are coming to town and you want to kind of have fun in the big city, you're only an hour away from Lisbon.
So that is where we ended up landing. We chose the Silver Coast. Part 2 of this video is we wanted to talk about schools. How did we find schools? That was the second question, like second most asked question that we kept getting behind. Like, where did y'all choose to live? And how did you find a school for Declan?
I didn't care. I just went, put him somewhere. Daycare. I don't know. But Deanna was very, which is rightfully so. I mean, I cared a little bit, but she cared more about the education is like here. You know, what are the different options? And so she definitely dove way deeper than I did. I was just here for the ride for those schools. So what you got?
Okay, so I did a lot of research trying to find schools like Greg mentioned. There are 3 different types of schools in Portugal. You have public school, similar to back in the States. It's free, ran by the government. They have their curriculum that they follow. They have private schools, which you have to pay your tuition to go to those schools. And then you have international schools. You have a much higher tuition than even private schools. So there's levels to it. That definitely played a part in how we found a school for Declan. The curriculums that the schools follow. Public school has their own Portuguese curriculum that they follow that's given to them by the government. Private schools follow either and I had to write it down, Cambridge International curriculum or a International Baccalaureate curriculum. Both of those are accepted globally. So if you decide to move around the world, go back to the States, your education for your child transfers over, which is something that we kept in mind when finding a school for Declan.
Absolutely.
Learned that public schools teach and speak in Portuguese. The private schools, they teach and speak in Portuguese, and then they offer extracurricular courses like English, sports, dance, swimming, all of that. International schools, however, only speak in English, and then they offer extracurriculars where you can then learn Portuguese as an extracurricular activity along with sports and dance and all of that. Those were some of the things that we wanted to make sure that we took into account whenever, trying to find a school for Declan. We toured international schools while we were here. International schools, like we said, they speak in English, so we knew that that would be an easy transition for Declan. You don't have to try to learn a different language and also make new friends.
Yeah, I think for you is if you didn't want to make it so overwhelming for him. I think that's the reason why he was like, well, maybe doing international and doing just English and then learning Portuguese on the side would be something. And then obviously when we are in the community, that would be something that would be like an easier pace for him.
When it came to private school, teaching in Portuguese, but then knowing that the teachers also speak English, it helped with integrating into the culture a little bit better. We moved to Portugal because we want to be a part of Portugal. So looking at private school and then teaching in Portuguese, I mean, kids learn second languages very quick compared to adults. So being able to put him in a school and he be able to pick it up really quickly, he could then be our translator for us.
Which he's doing right now.
Yes. I mean, we're still learning ourselves, but
he's learning much faster than us.
Much faster. So, and then I think the last thing when we were looking at just like public schools, knowing that they only speak in Portuguese, we heard mixed reviews. Some families put their kids in the public schools and their kids flourished. They were fine. Within a matter of months, they were fluent in Portuguese. And then there were other stories where The student did not understand what was going on. The teacher was unable to speak English to even bring the child into the conversation. So the kid was like, well, I was just playing all day. She's like, so you're not learning? I was like, no, I don't understand them. They don't understand me. And it just wasn't a good mix. So we've heard both. And we ended up going with a private school. I feel like it's been pretty good for us. They have extracurriculars, they have transportation.
And the extracurricular is within the school day.
Yeah, which is different. Sorry, I thought you were gonna.
Oh, you'll need to go.
Yeah,
okay.
go.
Oh, so they also have extracurricular activities that's during the school day. And so that's one of the perks is that we don't have to all day school and then now we have to go and take him to swimming and football, which is what he's doing now. It's integrated within the regular school day, which has been amazing for us. So he also gets extracurricular, and then at nighttime he spends time with him, get him ready for eat, get him ready for the next day, and then we go from there.
Declan has been doing really well in school. Picking up words each day when we drop him off at the bus stop. It's more so tell me a new word when you come back home. So he's going to school like actively thinking, okay, what's the word that I'm gonna come home and tell mom and dad? He loves his teachers. The kid can eat. So I asked him, so what was your favorite part of the day? Lunch. Of course it was. That is something that we did find interesting is for the meals. They are very healthy, soup, salad, and your main meal every day. So they do fish, chicken, and beef, and they'll do a rotation. I think that just knowing that the lunches are more nutritious, absolutely love it. Some of the things that we like about Declan's school is they wear uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
They have smocks, which go on top of their clothes so that they don't make a mess of their clothes underneath it, which I actually think is really smart. We all know that kids go to school, they destroy clothes, food, paint, dirt, all of that. But at his school, you have to purchase a smock that they wear every day when they are in the classroom, so that if they do make a mess, it's on that versus their clothes. He has a uniform, so whenever he leaves the campus, they wear their uniform. Makes it easy for the kids to be identified when they're out and about on field trips or out at the swimming pool. Hours for the school are really nice. They open up at 7:30 in the morning and they close at 7 p.m. So if you're working as a parent from a 9 to 5, you don't always have to rush to beat traffic, which is something that we had to experience back in the States, the hustle and bustle of daycare's closing at 6, and if you only have an hour to get to your kid, they're open longer. That does allow them to do the extracurriculars throughout the day, which is beautiful. And then some of the activities that they offer, the extracurriculars. They offer English speaking, but we didn't need that. They have swimming, football, gymnastics, activities to be interesting to the kids. And it's not an exorbitant amount to be able to participate in more than one. His school is also similar to like a Montessori school. So earlier I mentioned that there is a Cambridge International curriculum and an International Baccalaureate. His school follows the International Baccalaureate, which is more of a holistic approach, critical thinking, hands-on learning, and they're teaching through play. And I think that I personally enjoy that. He's 5. I really just want you to learn the language at the age of 5. As you get older, we may look at transferring him to like a Cambridge school where it's more focused on the academics.
I would say learning language and also foundation, so still reading, writing, alphabet, counting, all those stuff. And so I think what I've seen through the school and through Declan, he is learning those things as well. So I think, we're very satisfied with the school that Declan's in. So one thing that I don't think we mentioned is price difference. I know you mentioned that public school is like the public school in the US, so that's free. Definitely interested in free. Private school that he's in currently is about a fourth of the price that we paid for Declan's daycare. The fact that it's a fourth of a price, he's still getting a great education, it's amazing from a affordability standpoint for us. And then with international school, it's still cheaper. I think it was like 19,000 euros, still much more affordable than international schools in the U.S. So you still get same great education. So that was
Yes.
something that was a plus for us as well.
I want to say those are pretty much the big things that we were looking for when trying to find a school for Declan. Again, trial and error. You're going to have to do your research. For us, talking in different forums for expats in the area, everyone has their own experience and it can differ from family to family, but all of that together is what helped us find the current school that Declan is in. That's how we found where we were going to live and how we found a school for Declan. If you guys enjoyed our video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you can stay notified of all of our upcoming videos. If you have any other questions, please continue to put those in the comment section, because as we continue to see them, we do save those for Q&A, and we do our best to reply back to everyone that we see on there. All right, y'all. We will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. You're eating, you know, the rectangle pizza or the peanut butter and jelly.
Good pizza, though.
I mean, it was.
That was some good pizza.
But now we know better, and we can do better.
That was some good pizza.
That's all I got. I was doing a lot.
You got all of this. You got all of this.
I wrote down a whole bunch, y'all.